In this final video, we're going to talk about reporting. Now, the best way to do so is by going through the dashboard, the first thing that you see when you log into Actito. There's a good reason for that. The metrics that we give you in this dashboard are based on the last 3 months, and they give you a good view on different metrics, how well you are performing in terms of customer activation. Best metric of all is the first one, Actito engagement score, which gives you a good indication of the activity of your customers in the last 3 months. Now, this can differ per sector. You don't need to go for 100%. You could go for 100%, of course, but it would be different in the financial sector, for example, than it would be in retail. If you'd like to know these benchmarks, you can leave us a message and we'll be happy to provide you with those figures for Europe. Now, next to the engagement score, what you see are the number of profiles in your database and the number of subscribers. Now, if you actually click through on this, you get a more extensive overview of database reporting. So the evolution of your database of the last 12 months, you can see some social demographical information such as men-women distribution, population pyramid, age distribution, language distribution. So if you have an audience that speaks a different language than what you are communicating in today, you might check this reporting to make sure that it's worth the effort of doing translations for those people. And another interesting one is qualification. Now, qualification shows you important attributes, basic attributes actually, and how well they are populated in your database. So if you look at this, postal code, for example, we have like 20%. Now, don't be fooled by these figures because the thing is, this is your entire database. We want to make sure that you go personalization wise. So if you look at this, we have filters. You can filter on subscriptions, so your regular newsletter, promotion shoppers, and also segments. So for example, in our case, we have life cycle. And if you look at postal code now, we have like 56% of people's postal codes that are in the segment prospect, which means we could do a big print campaign, for example, to those people. That's just to give you an idea of database reporting. Now, if we go a bit further in the dashboard, we can see that we have the number of scenario executions. So those are the automations that are triggered that are seizing business opportunities for you. So also very interesting to monitor those. And then this one is your email benchmark, the one that really matters for you. It gives you an average of the last 3 months, how your campaigns have performed. And this is perfect to check this information against your most recent campaigns to know, have I performed better or not? To make sure that you can learn from mistakes and export what you've done well in previous campaigns. And this applies for emails and SMS. Now let's dive a little deeper in an email campaign. So I'm going to take the newsletter that we send out for October. Now what you get classically is the funnel, of course, sent emails, delivered, opened, and clicked, and a couple of other interesting metrics such as complaints, which indicates how many people have actually clicked spam on your message. I'm not going to cover every tab here, but you get, for example, as well the openings. So opening times of your email over the last 24 hours and the first 10 days of your campaign. For clicks, you can see the click distribution and heat map of your email to really see where people have clicked the most. Very interesting to have a look at. And then after that, you have deliverability as well. Shows you how well certain domains are performing and which ones might do damage to your deliverability rates. So always interesting to check that as well. Moving back to the dashboard, one reporting that I'd still like you to see are the scenario reportings. So let's dive into those. And I'll just take this one. And those will give you, again, that visual representation of your customer journey, but now you'll see how many people have actually flown between blocks. So this was a request for a subscription to the newsletter. 144 people have participated in that forum. And then we made the check, are those people living in France or not? 49 people lived in France, 95 didn't. So we can see all 49 people received that email, all 95 here as well. So everything checks out. Now, this is a fairly simple scenario, but if you have a more complex scenario, this is perfect to start identifying which are the most successful blocks, where you have potential bottlenecks, where your automation doesn't work as you anticipated. So very interesting to start looking at. And you can even give in a certain date range as well to see how well a fixed campaign like a welcome program has performed over the last 3 months if you had the holiday seasons, for example. So that concludes reporting. There's actually a module that we offer that gives you way more opportunities in terms of reporting, where you can actually aggregate your data, bring together data from other sources, get very visual dashboards that help you build segments and targetings on the spot. So that's not something that we're going to cover in this video, but you can find more information on that below in this email. And if you have any more questions on that, we'll be happy to help you with that. Thanks a lot.